Hey guys, welcome back. It's Redox. We're going to take a look at the MLRS once again, guys, and this unit is still very strong at killing other vehicle units, and that's why I still love using the War Factory build with the MLRS. And yes, there are a lot of new air units like the laser drones. You know, there's the Mohawk gunship, and the Orca bomber got reworked, so you know, there are many ways to counter the MLRS and other War Factory units with these air units, but as long as you protect your MLRS properly, you should still have a good time using this unit. And I've been having a lot of success still with my War Factory build. But in this case, you'll see that my opponent has 0 War Factory units. He only has the Hand of Nod, and he's got the Air Tower, which has laser drones and banshees, which are relatively good against War Factory units. Now, how am I going to use my MLRS effectively in this game? You might wonder, and to be honest, I probably could still win this game without MLRSs, but I really love using this strategy, especially on a map like this. What I'm going to try to do is first set up my MLRSs in a way so I can capture the first missile and perhaps kill a harvester or two, because a lot of your opponents will still bring in a couple of Temple of Nods or Tech Lab units, and the MLRSs are still a great way to kill harvesters. I almost end up killing his first harvester there with a Pitbull. I see a second harvester, and his harvester is exposed, so I send my MLRS to deal with that harvester, and that harvester is going to go down, and that's going to slow down his economy a bit. He tries to stop my MLRS with a laser drone here, but my Rhino, that I was sitting right next to it, I boosted up with Colonel Jackson, and immediately take out those little flying bugs that are trying to take care of my MLRSs here. And I capture the first missile. Now I move a whole bunch of my shockwaves to see if I could, you know, do a base rush on him. But those 3 rocks prevent, you know, any types of ground unit rushes where you have to get in very close proximity. So those rocks, in a way, actually do protect your base from being rushed. Now, while the rocks do protect your base from being rushed, I'm going to pause the video right here, guys. What I do now is I actually move my MLRS to the top, because while these rocks protect you against things like the Shockwave Rush or other ground units, when you have a 2-tiled unit like the MLRS, you can actually take advantage of the way these rocks are set up. Put your MLRS behind the rocks and then fire on your opponent's base. And the MLRSs and Giga Cannons from the Nod side, they do a lot of damage on enemy bases. And these rocks, in a way, prevent his ground units from spawning quickly right next to my MLRS and taking care of it. He has to walk around to kill my MLRS with his ground units. So the most effective way to protect your base in this case is to go for laser drones or banshees, as you can move them on top of the rocks and then fire on my MLRS. So I'm gonna hit the play button here once again, guys. But you will see that's what I'm doing. He tries to stun my MLRS. He knows that I'm gonna start firing on his base at this point, and that's what I do. One rocket volley goes off. I move all my rhinos, because I really only need rhinos to take care of these laser drones and perhaps his laser squads that are coming out. Because I haven't seen a single Banshee yet. He just kept making laser drones and laser squads, which are effective against MLRSs, of course. But he's right now too focused on trying to kill my rhinos. And at this point, you know, it's over, because he just can't get his units fast enough, adjacent enough to protect his base from my MLRSs bombarding his base. And that's how I'm able to win these games. Alright, this will be the second game, guys. And this time, I actually took out one of my War Factory units and put in a disruptor, because I love using the disruptor with the MLRS, as they both have 2-tile ranges, and the disruptor can really take care of infantry units that MLRSs would have problems with, such as the jump jets or missile squads. But anyways, he's got mainly an infantry start here, as you guys can see. I go for a Pitbull right off the bat. I see his missile squad here. I was thinking he might be a War Factory player as well, so I thought I would see some War Dogs or Rhinos. That's why I started off with a Pitbull, and I also wanted to see if he had maybe a double Harvester or something like that. And at this point, I do see the second Harvester. I crystal block him here for like a split second, and what I want to do is try to kill that harvester. I build one shockwave to clear out his missile squads, because my plan is to build an MLRS at this point and try to kill one of those harvesters, stop that economy, because I know he's got Tech Lab units. You know, when someone's going for double harvesters, you know he's gonna go for Tech Labs, or he's trying to crystal farm that up. So anyways, I send one MLRS down to the bottom side, and I'm going to position it on that top of that launch pad while I have my shockwave right next to a shockwave. And I'm going to enhance my MLRS to try to snipe that harvester that was trying to run away with its life. but my MLRS fired just a little bit too fast. And the way my MLRS is positioned right now is amazing, because every time his second harvester tries to farm on one of those crystal patches, it's going to be pushed back. So that second harvester is doing nothing right now, because anytime he tries to move it onto that crystal, I'm going to kill it with my MLRS. So he immediately goes for a Titan, which is an excellent counter. I failed to tile block him with my Shockwave, which is just poor. If I had tile blocked that Titan, you know, I definitely would have had a second chance with the MLRS. But what I do is I immediately start firing on his base. You guys can see, because I knew I got this first missile. I had one MLRS already set up on the top, and I'm firing away on his base. Now I gotta try to stop this Titan that's trying to kill my MLRSs here. So I do take care of this Titan before, you know, I start firing on that base again. I had his Titan distracted, you know, with my Shockwave. His Titan was trying to take out my MLRSs, but my Shockwave was just distracting him too much. And this game was very quick as that base went down there to my MLRSs on the top while I captured the first missile. So there we go, guys. You guys can see just how amazing these rocket launchers can be when you use them properly. Alright guys, this will be the third game, and this time my opponent will be playing as Commander Kane of the Nod faction. He'll be on the right hand side, I'll be on the left hand side, and the map you guys can see is different than the first two games. And I decided to go for a bit of a slower game this time, and I actually go for missile squads right off the bat, thinking he might have attack bikes or anything like that to rush my harvesters. In fact, he just goes for a laser squad. As you guys can see, he has a standard start himself as well. And I go for one Shockwave. I sent one of my missile squads down south to see if he had a second harvester, because of course he could always have double harvesters, and he does have Temple of Nod units, so he does go for a double harvester at this point, which I have no idea about. I send out double Shockwaves. I want to just kind of hold his launch pad right now, but I don't know what he's got right now exactly, because of course I'm not really sure if he has a double harvester at this point. So he just builds a whole bunch of flame squads to contest against these launch pad against me here, while I try my best to hold on to these pads. I go for one Pitbull thinking he might go for an attack bike or something like that, so he does. I do see another harvester on the top, but I wasn't sure if that was a double harvester. But now it is confirmed as I move my Pitbull a little bit more closer to the top side. So I try to kill his harvester as best as I can while trying to capture this launch pad, because I do really need to capture this first launch pad here. You know, he's been farming quite a bit here, and the missile looks like it's turning towards his side, which was unfortunate, because now he's got a missile advantage ahead of me, and he does have an economy lead. So I just try to kill his harvester now at this point as best as I can. I build one Predator tank to contest with a Scorpion tank here. And he's got the first missile on me. He's got more economy over me, and I know I'm going to have to expect maybe like a Temple of Nod at some point. He does have a Widowmaker now building up. I go for an MLRS. I start setting them up. And what I'm going to do is go for MLRSs and then go for a Disruptor. So I do have the Tech Lab up now, and I'm ideally going to go for one Disruptor after I get my second MLRS up here. So at this point, I'm not really in a position to do any types of base rush. He gets a Cane Tower set up, but I immediately start firing on it with my Shockwave and my MLRS, and it takes care of that tower very nicely. I go for two Disruptors at this point, as I got a couple Harvesters on him. I actually didn't realize I killed a couple Harvesters here, but my double Disruptors here will take care of these laser squads and flame squads. Now he does unfortunately get my MLRS, which was on the southern launch pad, but this two-tile duo is just so amazing. I love using the MLRS and the Disruptor together. It's a very strong combination. If your opponent is not pumping out any air units, he's desperately fighting for this missile, and so am I, because of course as soon as I lose this missile, it's over. And you can see a whole bunch of Disruptors coming out from my side, as I see mainly just infantry units and war factory units with that Widowmaker on the side as well. So I haven't seen any air units coming out, and he doesn't have any air units, as you guys can see. He doesn't have any right now. And I do eventually almost capture that missile there, but still he's contesting so hard with that Widowmaker, and Widowmakers can hold well against Disruptors, especially when his Widowmaker is also at level 10. But I do a really good job at saving my MLRS on the bottom side, because I tile block his tanks with my Disruptor. So my MLRS almost died on the bottom side, and had it died, you know, I'd have lost the game immediately there. So I try my best here to tile block his tanks with my tanks, my disruptors. I do whatever I can to protect my MLRS from his onslaught of Scorpion tanks. And he, his laser squads, even though are a great counter to my MLRS, he can't get close enough with his laser squads because of my disruptor combo. And he does eventually start switching into some laser squads here, as he did take out my disruptor finally. But I quickly build some more shockwaves here, and I try to get another disruptor out and a couple more MLRSs, of course, because I realized that he probably doesn't have any air units by this point anyways. And whatever tanks he's sending out, they're dying. He's farmed out on the crystals. You can see second harvester just sitting there. If I was him, I'd have probably sacrificed that second harvester by this point. But the disruptor MLRS combo was just too much for him in the end. And I did some very nice maneuvers blocking his Scorpion tanks from trying to get to my MLRS in behind. I saved my MLRS on the bottom launch pad many times there, and that allowed me to win the game. This was a tough game, but at the end of the day, I prevailed, and I still love my 2-tile range rocket launchers because they're still very amazing at taking down vehicle units, harvesters, and doing base rushes whenever you get a chance like that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, let me know what you guys think about the current War Factory meta, and I'll see you guys next time.